music for us. Good evening. Hold on one second. Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Francesca Warren, and we are back for our weekly podcast, Do the Work. This is where we interview educators from all around the country. And we have been so lucky in that if you have not seen our top 50 educators, we have been giving them space to tell their story and really talk about why we picked them to be a top 50 educator. Today, we have Ashley Carter Anderson. Ashley is a doctor in front.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. Now, before we get into anything, guys, I want you to tag a friend. I want you to tell a friend that you are here. I want you to share this post. If you are on our YouTube, if you're on our LinkedIn, if you are on our Facebook page. Before we start, Ashley, I have a question I want to ask you. And you guys know on the Educators Room site, we literally have all kinds of people send us questions all the time. So we have a question, and this is really interesting. And before you start, let me preface this because my elementary teachers will probably cringe. But when I was a high school English teacher, I did not allow makeup work. Okay, no makeup work. I gave you the assignment. I gave you plenty of time. I reminded you. I did all those things. So if you didn't do it, that's a problem. Now, let me tell you what we were sent yesterday, and it has our Facebook page on fire. Guys, in the comments, you can also leave your comments, but I'm going to give it right now. Okay. A teacher asked us, I assigned a final project for my students' grades. I gave them 5 days in class to work on it. I had a model and a rubric. Maybe 50% of the students turned it in, mostly not quality, but whatever. Now the submissions are flooding in. Do I give them a 0 for their final, 20% of their semester 2 grade, or provide some grace and give all late work a 50? This is a high school teacher. What would you do, Ashley?
Well, I'm laughing because in our district, both the district I was in before and where I'm back at now, the grade of a 0 doesn't exist, so it automatically goes to either a 50 or 53, depending on the district.
Okay, so you would give a 50, and there has been a lot of people that have, I mean, this is like very triggering for some adults because we get it all the time from people who are like, I cannot stand the idea of giving kids a 50 for something they did not do. Mm-hmm. So how do teachers in your district feel about having to give a 50 if a student did not do the work?
I think we got mixed reviews. It depends on, I think the value or like the assignment. So like a classwork, maybe you wouldn't mind, but like a larger project results into a 50 over, a long period of time. I think that's where we get that cringe that you were speaking of, just because it's like the effort, and the kids kind of know how to play the game now, and they're like, okay, I can do this number of assignments, and I know where I'll land in the class. So I think that's where the issue may come in for those that do have an issue.
Absolutely. Okay, so I have to ask this, and thank you for that. And we try to ask this, and guys, we probably get in a month, we probably get 500 questions.
Yeah.
500 questions from teachers all over the world who are like, hey, is this normal? They need somebody to bend the ear. Now, guys, I see there are a lot of people online. Drop where you are watching from. I'm in Atlanta. Where are you at, Ashley?
I am in New Jersey.
New Jersey. So is it still a little bit cold for you guys? Because I know you guys
today they gave us a little bit more respect in the weather area, and it was like 85, so feeling good. We're looking for consistency.
Listen, and the crazy thing in New Jersey is that you guys are still in school, correct?
Yes, we are still in school. I think the last day is like June, like the last week in June, 25th, 26th, around that time.
So I'm in the Metro Atlanta area, and guys, we got out of school last week. We were out of school, but for all my Northerners who are going to jump in here and be like, oh my God, we go back like the end of July.
Yeah.
And
so
I love y'all schedule because even though it's hot and I don't want to work in June, I'd much
Mm-hmm.
rather go back after Labor Day.
Yeah,
Okay.
understood.
So before we start, Ashley, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into education. And guys, tonight we're going to talk about revolutionary parenting. And you guys are going to learn why Ashley is one of our top 50 educators. Ashley, you got the floor.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Ashley Carter Anderson. I am from East Orange, New Jersey. I am currently an assistant principal, so I don't think I got to update you, Francesca, from being selected as one of the top 50 educators. That was in January. I was a department chair, and then shortly after, I interviewed, and I'm actually back at the school that I graduated high school from and where I spent my tenure in the classroom. So I'm happy to be back. Shout out to Cicely Tyson School, Community School of Performing and Fine Arts in East Orange, New Jersey. And I started undergrad. I majored in English, and then I got a master's in English education. And then I went back for the principal certification, and now an assistant principal.
That is absolutely amazing. Kudos to you. I love to see it. The best administrators are always going to be former teachers. And you have a degree in English, same degree that I have. Love it. We love to teach the word to our children.
We do.
So let's talk about, before we get into anything, let's talk about this term revolutionary parenting. Give
Yes.
us, like, what is the definition for that? Because I think we all, especially educators, we feel like, oh, we're revolutionary parents. So
Yes.
we need to know, what is this?
So I go back and forth with the idea of like what that looks like, and I would say it changed over the years. I'm a mom of two. I have a 14-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter, so that age gap has significantly changed the way like I parent, the way I think of things, different times, different experiences in my own life. I would say I would define revolutionary in my terms as um, viewing motherhood as like an opportunity to advocate for transformative change within education. So to me, it embodies like that commitment to challenging like that the typical or the status quo, and just ensuring that all children, is including my own children, have a education where their passions and their interests are valued. That's what I consider revolutionary.
I just had this conversation with somebody. We were talking about how, so there's a lot of debate right now. I don't know if you've seen this on social media around, there are parents who have kids with autism who are fighting this narrative that there's been all these debates on how do you hold kids who have disabilities accountable. And so there's a mom
Okay.
on Facebook where her son, shout out to the Dancing Autism Mom. Her son, she is very much like, yes, he has autism. He's level 3, but she's like, listen, he has good sense. And so she films a lot of what he does. And like, he understands sarcasm. He's a regular kid.
Okay.
However, she says, he is 6'5". She's probably about 6'1". She was like, when he was little, it was easier. Like, I knew I had to make sure that I held him accountable because I knew he would grow bigger and I would not be able to hold him accountable. Like, I wouldn't be able to take care of him.
Yeah.
So he was doing something one day and he took like a car, like a little, like he was playing with his cars, and he was going to throw it at her. And she told him, she was like, if you throw that at me, it's on. Like, so obviously, like, he knows he cannot hit his mother. And so there has been a lot of debate on her page around people who don't agree with her methods, because she is like, no, he understands what he's saying and what he's doing. And so I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about that. We are finding kids in the school system who've never been held accountable. They're coming into school and parents are telling teachers, don't say anything to my child, don't reprimand him, you come and bring him to me. And so when you talk about revolutionary parenting, it made me think about that, because some of the most revolutionary parents that I know are fellow educators, because we're like, no, you can't do this, because we see what it looks like on the other side.
Absolutely.
How did that, being a teacher, did that frame your approach to education and advocacy?
I think it started in my childhood. I'm the oldest of 7 children,
Mm,
and just my mom's also an educator. Shout out to my mom.
awesome.
Uh, just seeing how she like allowed us the space to speak up for ourselves and but still held us accountable. Like I think I took that a lot of that into my parenting, and like I'm not doing it alone, so I have the support. I have my husband, and like we have different backgrounds, but like we find that middle ground to meet in the middle. But when it comes to like the educating of our kids, like I see it differently, or I might see it one way because I'm in the classroom, or I've been in the classroom, and I'm still so involved in educating. I think what's most important is for students to be able to see how they fit into the classroom and be held accountable still, but also finding a way through their passion, like being able to like show up for themselves in the classroom. And again, like I said, I'm really big on being and holding students accountable. So I think it's a balance.
Absolutely. And I believe, like, I have always taught in highly, I wouldn't say transient, but high poverty areas. And my kids, even my toughest kids, my kids who have pending court cases, my kids
Mm,
who are just into a lot of stuff outside of school, they all craved accountability. Like, they
yep.
didn't like it necessarily, but they knew there were certain people's classroom where things were able to
Absolutely.
and they weren't. So they would come to my classroom, and I'm short. You guys can't tell, but I'm short. And I would be like,
Me too, sis 5'1".
I'm like 5'2", I'm a little bit taller than you. And I would tell them, I'm like, not in this classroom. And one of
Mhm,
my boys, he was particularly a knucklehead, and he was like, it feels like when I come in here, like my mom or my grandma, because I can't
mhm,
do what I want. And so I contend all the time that a lot of these behaviors we're seeing is because nobody is holding these kids accountable.
mhm,
And they're waiting for the teachers to do it. And it's great if I have time, but I have children of my own. I cannot parent the kids that I have in my class. So at home, you got to make tough decisions. So
mhm,
you guys haven't checked out Dancing Autism Mom, she's amazing. And I like her story because she's like, my child's level 3, he's nonverbal. He talks a little bit, but his diagnosis is nonverbal. And what I like about her is that she is showing people how you hold not only her son, but everybody accountable. And she
mhm.
holds him to a standard. And I keep going back to a lot of the things that we're seeing in classrooms is because everybody's afraid to discipline the child.
Yeah, I think it's accountability on all levels too. Like not just the students being held accountable, but
Mhm.
like educators being held accountable, parents being held accountable. Like we all play a role. So like when we're all speaking the same language, that is when the students begin to see like, okay, like if I do something here, like I know it's going to get to my mom, they're going to hold me accountable. I know it's going to get to this person. So accountability on every level.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm going to skip. We have questions, but I think that just from the flow of conversation, I know that you've worked extensively in Newark Public Schools, East Orange School District. What do you see some of the strengths and challenges you see in education today? We talked student accountability, but what else are you seeing that you're like, we got an issue here?
Uh, I would say in my hold on one second.
And when we're going through, guys, this is what real parenting looks like. Parents got to get the kids together. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we make it work. We multitask. We figure it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear? So as she's getting this and she's thinking about this, it's okay. Ashley, you good? Let me see. I think okay, she muted herself. So as we break a little bit and as she gets on her end, when we talk unique strengths and challenges in urban classrooms, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're seeing kids who just they really struggle with. Let me see. She might be frozen. Okay, she's not frozen. Who really struggle with academic rigor. Like they're struggling with how can like kids are so engrossed in their phones, they don't really know how to take pen and paper and write. Even behind me, I know you can see like my my book and you see all the books that I have, I've noticed that kids are not reading whole books. Ashley, have you noticed the same thing?
Yes, but I didn't play that in my classroom. I said it, whatever we start, we finish. And I got the kids to really, like it's been a few years since I've been in the classroom, but Michael, my last class, what are they're juniors now, and they
Mhm.
still be like, remember we read that book? Like, yep.
Yep, yep,
We
yep,
started it, we were finishing it.
yep.
So I'm ready for your previous question whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah. Well, we were just talking about what some of the things that you're seeing, even though you worked in a lot of urban areas. What are some of the things that you're seeing with your kids? I was using the expectations, but one of the things that I'm seeing, and maybe you're seeing it too, is that across the board, kids don't read anymore. They're not reading whole novels. I don't know if they're doing that in New Jersey. We're kind of going back, but there was a time when kids were just reading excerpts of everything, and I'm like,
Uh,
no, 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 you got to read the whole thing.
I really think it depends on curriculum. So I can't speak for the entire, New Jersey because different curriculums, different districts, the way it works here. I could say there was a time where it was only novels and novel studies, and the entire curriculum was novels. And then there have been times when it's excerpts. I also think it depends on like state testing, like what we might see on the test and what we decide to expose the students to. Some strengths, I would say, and challenges. Urban schools often they display like remarkable resilience, creativity,
Mhm.
strong sense of community. But some of the obstacles, like our resources, limited resources, is to me the biggest factor. External stressors that might not be able to get handled and kind of carry along through that journey of education and has a significant impact on like the learning. So just pretty much addressing some of these challenges. It definitely requires like collaboration and an approach where we prioritize access to those opportunities.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that, and we talked a little bit about this because we're educators, and your mom was an educator, but
She still is 27 years in the classroom.
listen, I love it. Tell her I am. Oh, I'm no longer in the classroom, but I was. This is my 20. My son's 26, so this is my 28th year.
Okay.
Year in education.
Mhm.
Um, as you've thought about your career and you've thought about, many educators right now are really struggling with how do I communicate with my families?
Mhm.
How can I make them feel a part of the solution? What are some practical strategies that you found to building these authentic partnerships with parents, today's parents? Because the parents that I had 10 years ago are different than the parents that I've had now, or are they? I don't know. So, what are some strategies that you found?
I would say this is my love language in education. I particularly feel like nothing is successful without having that relationship and with families in those partnerships. Um, some things that I know that have worked in the past that I've participated in at my current school is we hold like these things called parent corners,
Mm,
and I've in the classroom I've taught at a few of them where like say kids are coming home and we're complaining that kids aren't doing their homework, and then we never thought that maybe it could be that the parents don't know how to assist them with the
mm,
homework. So we would have like a workshop where this is what we're going to be focusing on for the next month. Parents come in and we'll teach them how to do the homework so that they can better serve their kids at home. Like that was one like of my favorite things to do, and I think that that really helped parents become comfortable and having that open door policy where like you're not alone, like this is a group effort and we're all here to assist. So that's just one of the strategies that like I've seen a turnaround, and I've seen that it like impacted in a positive way.
yeah, I love the idea where parent corners, like that's amazing. Like, did you coin that? Was that something?
Um, I didn't coin it. I just participated in many of the workshops that would be held for parents, but that
Mhm.
was one of the former school leaders at the school during that time, and it's something that we continue. Not maybe the same way, but like really big on building relationships. I did things, on my own still in the classroom where I would have like before testing, I would do like webinars and things and kind of like teach the skills that would show up on a state exam, to parents and families that way, even if they weren't comfortable like coming in. We could be, on a video. I would model just like I would do in the classroom and hold the session. And I find it or found it to be very helpful.
Absolutely. And I think I love that because parents, somebody said this, I think it was, oh gosh, I'm trying to find the comments. I think it's Kamara. Kamara said accountability is big in classrooms. No, somebody said something about parents. Oh, Khadijah said parents want to be heard. Yep, they want to be heard. Shout out to
Khadijah
for that. I have another question. I know that you have really you have a strong advocate for the arts and performing arts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is your school is a performing arts school?
My school is a performing arts school. Shout out to the class of 2026. They make 20 years since I graduated from the school. So at our school, we have visual and performing arts. So we have everything from vocal to strings to animation to TV and film, photography programs. The students have to audition in grade 6 as well as in grade 9. So it's a middle high school. I would say the arts saved my life. I would say the same for my siblings. We are all artistic in some way or another. I started in 6th grade in vocal music. The arts gave me like that opportunity to be able to travel. My first trip to another country was for a vocal competition. So I'm a strong advocate for that because I've seen the kids that would not do anything, but if you bringing the arts into the classroom, you see a whole different student. So I think that speaks a little bit to, like, I was teaching Romeo and Juliet one year, and taking a Shakespeare class in college and then having to teach it, I dreaded it. But then when we would get to like the prologues and things, I'm like, we're at a performing arts school. Like, can I get someone to sing it? Okay, good. Can I get, can we get up and act this out? And then, like engaging them in that way. I taught a unit on graffiti and art. Is it a crime? And it was at the same time where Basquiat pop-up exhibit happened in New York, and we got to go on a field trip there. So, combining those things. Just Mercy, when the movie came out, I taught a unit on Just Mercy, and then we got to do like a private screening of the film at the movie theater. So like all those opportunities is where I got to see those students that might have like shied away from having to write an essay or do other things, where they really like showed who they are and their talent came through.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I love that. And it makes me we talked a little bit about this when we were talking about in the South, many times we're finding that kids aren't reading entire books. And I always tell people when I work with leaders is that yes, it's important. Everything needs to be standards-based. But kids don't come 10 years later and see you in the mall and say, I remember when you taught me that standard. They say, I remember that book you taught.
Yep.
I got this lesson from this book. So I think it's, it's just, we know that's where the work is.
Definitely.
And right now there are a lot of teachers who are new to the profession. They're burnt out. They haven't even started and burnt out. The expectation so much is so high sometimes. What keeps you motivated as an educator, a leader, a parent? And you just like me, you had to wrangle your kids. I had to tell my daughter to turn off the stove. It's beeping, and they're just ignoring it. I'm like, turn it off. So how do you stay grounded in all your different roles?
Most people that are probably joined in, if they know me, they know nothing happens without a checklist. So I have that weekly schedule that holds myself accountable, holds my kids accountable. My son is 14, my husband accountable. I say like Anderson's, this is the schedule for the week. Like everybody making sure they do their part. So that makes it easy at home for me. In terms of like the teacher burnout and like just even the workload, I think my motivation comes from the impact that like I know that I'm making. Like when I have those kids that are now inviting me to like their weddings or just like sending me requests on social media, like, oh, remember we did the Super Bowl commercial in your class? Like those are my reminders. I'm not saying that like I'm any less stressed than or like a teacher or an admin elsewhere, but I really think it's just like those memories that like keep me pushing and like all the work that I still know that I have to do. like it's still, to me, early in my career, and it's so much more to be done and so many other things that I want to do. And I can't do it without the students. So like that keeps me motivated. You went out for a second. I can't hear you.
That's because I was we've been out of COVID for 6 years.
Listen.
It's just like I don't know how I do that. Now, for those who don't know, you have served in special education, English teacher, department chair, now assistant principal. How has that changed your aspect of student success and what students need? Like, how has your thought process changed, or has it stayed the same?
I would say it hasn't changed much, in my opinion. I'm pretty much the same school leader that like who I was in the classroom. Even my students would say like, "Girl, when you gonna be the principal?" You know, so like that again, accountability, right?
Yes.
I would say I'm always big on just celebrating like those small wins. So not like thinking about like the bigger picture all at once. Like, what can I do this week that could make a difference? What can I do in 2 weeks that could make a difference? And celebrating those small wins, so those small victories. As a parent and as an educator, I feel like it goes hand in hand. So yeah,
absolutely. Now we have 2 questions left, and this is actually I'm gonna, because this I feel like is the better question. I'm gonna ask one of them. So you wake up tomorrow. And you are now the Secretary of Education. Ashley is the Secretary of Education. What are some of your initiatives going to be, and why?
Okay, you wanna come like that? For one, I think because of my love and passion for the arts, some type of mandate would be arts incorporation in every subject area. That's something, again, adequate funding, that makes a difference. I spoke to that idea earlier. Resources, and most importantly, training for educators. I feel like that's where the lack is. Like, so many people are promoting like PD this and PD that, but like not always giving us things that we could use like today. So some type of program where it's quality PD, to me, would make the biggest difference. And that's something I would want to see in education, mainly because I feel like how the teachers and how the admin and school leaders are trained will all benefit the students ultimately. And that's when we'll see like the real shift in what's happening in the classrooms.
I absolutely love it. Ashley, it has been great speaking with you. We like to keep these shorter just because it is a weekday, and you guys up north are still in school. So
we still got time to go.
So what did we not cover anything? Is there something you like want everybody to know? Where can people find you? All those good things.
So I think we covered everything. I can't think of anything different, but I would say following my leadership journey would be able to showcase me more than on my personal page. So on Instagram, I'm Dreamers in Education, and it's Ashley Carter Anderson. I plan to start doing more of videos like this, and definitely connecting with the educators room. You guys have been a great support in my leadership journey, so I appreciate that, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. We have Casey Washington just hopped on, and she is a former high school principal in Chicago, so I'm sure I can connect you to, because she has
absolutely.
She did amazing work. Now she's in the wellness space. We have Kamara, who said arts in class is such a bonus. I add music to almost everything I do. So you have a fan club, and that just attests to just the wonderful educator you are. So guys,
I appreciate that.
No problem. Please share, please comment with people for this podcast. We will see us. We're going to film another one. Y'all hear my massive dog. And we thank you for giving up on your Wednesday evening. And guys, have a great night.
Thank you, Francesca.